oh my gosh, we can be so mean to ourselves, so mean, and we can expect so much that it's impossible. And then you think about how you are to your friends, how nice you are to your friends, Hey guys, it's Miss Chelsea here, and today I'm going to talk to you about 5 ways to support your balance of career, family, life, work, marriage, children, everything like that. So a little background information. Right now I have 2 children. I have Molly Mae, she's 6 months, and I have Michael, he is 2 years old. And also Paul and I have a music school that we are co-founders of, and we also teach there, and then we're also performing, and that's kind of the phase of life that we're in right now. So we're kind of in the middle of, I would feel like it's a little bit of a grind period having the young ones. It's definitely more of a grind than what it was when we did not have children. So way number 1, take turns. What this means is I will take turns in my roles, because you can't do it all the time. You just can't, and we try, right? We try so hard to do it all, but we can't. So for example, one part of the day, say in the morning before the kids are awake, this is my turn to be the businesswoman, where I'm checking on things in the music school, I'm working on different areas of marketing with our marketing manager, or I'm responding to a lot of emails, or I'm looking ahead, or I'm planning some kind of program or performance for the kids coming up. And then maybe once the kids wake up, I'm like, okay, my turn to be a businesswoman is over, and now I'm going to take a turn and I'm going to be a mom right now. And then it's like 100% trying to be focused with the kids, whatever that they're doing, being there, being present. So hard, right? So hard. And then maybe later in the day, say the kids are taking their nap, not that they nap at the same time, but like once every 2 weeks, maybe there's a window of like a half hour where they are napping at the same time. It's wonderful. But during that time, maybe that's my time to be a wife. And then I take all my focus and attention on my husband, and I check in with him, and I talk to him, and I try to connect with him. And then maybe later on in the day, I am really focused on keeping the house comfortable, keeping the house clean, keeping the house organized. For me, my environment is everything. I will put my environment above a lot of other things, because if my environment is calm and organized and it just seems to be a creative, peaceful place, then that's how I feel. So that's really important to me. So then maybe in the evenings, I'll just do this big whirlwind cleanup and work on making the house just shine, the counters just sparkle, the glass, I just use glass cleaner and everything, and then that makes me feel a certain way. So basically using all of these different roles in the course of one day, taking turns, because you can't always be the best person for your business. You can't always be the best mother. You can't always be the best wife. Not when you're trying to do them all 100% of the time. So for me, I take turns giving each thing a little bit of a priority throughout the day. And then at the end of the day, it makes me feel better, because I feel like, okay, I did have time when I was present with my kids. I did have time when I was productive getting this done. I did all of that kind of thing. All right, number 2, take care of yourself. This one we just love, right? It's like, oh yeah, take care of yourself. But when you think about it, you really, how can I be the best, most patient mother if I'm not taking care of myself? If I am going to bed super late, and then my kids are up in the night, and my kids are up super early in the morning, I'm really tired the next day. And when I'm really tired, I'm not patient. And when I'm not patient, I lose my patience with my children, and the fuse is like, and I don't want my kids to see me like that. I don't want that, and then it makes me feel bad about myself, and then it could be this cyclical thing, right? And so that's one thing I can do to take care of myself, is make sure that I'm getting the proper amount of rest, as much as it's in my control. Going to bed early is a lot easier than trying to sleep in when you have kids. And another thing that I can do to take care of myself is I can exercise in some way. Not saying that it has to be some HIIT workout or some plyometric type of thing, but it has to be something that gets my blood flowing and that makes me feel like a person, that makes me feel alive. Because when I exercise, even if it's just walking, sometimes I will walk and do emails on the phone, or do like the voice to command memo, and that's one thing that I'm able to actually do at the same time. But then when I think about it, I'm like, oh wow, I was just walking for 30 minutes and I wasn't even really paying attention, but I was walking, and I walked a blah 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 mile, and I was able to get these emails done too. And so exercise is so important for me, just to clear my mind, to make me feel alive, and to feel like I have more motivation, I have more creativity, I'm a happier person. There's the endorphins, everything like that. It helps lower your stress. I mean, you don't need me to tell you that exercise is important. And then also for me time, that is a really big one for me, because both Paul and I probably don't feel like we get enough me time, and it's hard because there's 2 children and they're very dependent on you, and that's just the phase that we're in. So sometimes I will hire a babysitter just so I can have some me time, or feel like I can do administrative work and not have interruptions. Because at first, sometimes I would try to do administrative work while I'm with the kids, and I realize it just ends up being this really frustrating mess. Because one, I'm not really able to work efficiently because there's constant interruption after interruption after interruption. 2, my kids aren't getting quality good time with me anyway. So if I can hire a babysitter for, say, an hour or 2 randomly, then I'm able to work really efficiently. My kids are able to have a really fun playtime, and everybody wins that way. So that's really important, to take care of yourself. So whatever that means, to take care of yourself. Number 1, you got to take care of yourself to be a good wife, to be a good partner, to be a good leader, to be a good teacher, to be a good family member. Everything you have to come first as far as your mental, physical health. All right, number 3, don't be afraid to ask for help. This one is hard. This one can be hard for a lot of people, because we all want to be able to do it all, and sometimes it just doesn't work that way. So sometimes what I will do is I will think about all the things that kind of have to get done for life to sync. Okay, so for example, I have to teach my students, I have to watch my children, I have to have meals, there has to be laundry that's done throughout the week and put away, and there has to be cleaning that's done, there has to be things done behind the scenes for the music school, and making sure everything is working okay, and checking in with people and overseeing things. And so out of all of those things that I'm thinking about, what can I do the best? So for me, okay, well, my students, I love teaching them, and could I find somebody random to do that better than me? Probably not. There are wonderful teachers, of course, but in this particular circle of my life and the people that I have helping in my support system, I'm the best person for my particular students. And then also going along that line, thinking about my children, I am the best person to be raising my children, okay? Not anybody else. So thinking about those things, and then going and thinking about, okay, well, what else needs to be done? Well, the laundry has to be done and put away each week. Am I the best person to put away the laundry? No. I could find help easily to put away the laundry. That really doesn't matter as much. So I take something that doesn't matter as much and try to delegate or ask for help or outsource. So for example, if you have all of these things on your plate, but then you think about, okay, well, this, being a mom, being a teacher, that's my life career, and then my passion career, both of those things, I'm the best person for that in my particular circle. But also the laundry has to be done, so maybe I will hire out somebody to come for 2 hours out of the week and take care of the laundry. and it's a reasonable rate for them, and it gives me peace of mind of one thing to cross off the list. And you might think, well, I don't have the money to hire somebody to do the laundry, but I mean, it's 2 hours, okay? 2 hours a week, first off. And then how I look at it is I can't afford not to. There is way too much stuff going on when you think about it. I mean, there's birthday gifts, there's remembering all the holidays, there's keeping the family in sync, there's spending time with the children, there's your job, there's performing, there's being a good wife, there's making sure things are working out with the house, there's working on meals and making sure that the cars are maintenanced and gassed, and it's just like there's way too much, right? Way too much for one person. So if there's a couple things that I can just outsource or delegate to somebody else that would do a fantastic job, why not? I can't afford not to, because that's my sanity. And you can't get that back very easily once you lose that. I already feel like I've lost it a lot, but we're working on getting it back. So I think that's so important. So number 4, every day is a new day. Some days, they're just a crapshoot. Let's be serious, right? Some days you're not motivated, you're in a grumpy mood, or you're upset, or you feel depressed, you don't feel like you want to get out of bed, whatever it is. Some days are just going to be crappy days. But if I were to say, okay, that's my life now, and that's how things are going to be, then I would never get anywhere. But then at the end of the day, I'm a list maker. So I will make a list at the end of the day of all the things that I want to do the next day, including my schedule. And I just treat every day like it's a new day. A lot of times you'll hear about this with people in different diets, right? So they'll go off the bandwagon and they'll be like, oh, well, I had a crappy day and I got cheeseburger and pizza and ice cream and I ate all this and I just sat on the couch all day and blah, 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 blah. But then it's like, okay, but what about the next day? You can start every day, square one. It doesn't, there's no kind of trickle effect that has to be. Every day is a new day, and you can just, boom, start over brand new. So remember that, because that's important too, that there's not all this heaviness hanging over your head from previous things of things you should have done or should not have done, or mistakes that you should have made, all that kind of stuff. So now, the last but not the least, probably the most important out of all of them, number 5, give yourself grace. Oh my gosh, we can be so mean to ourselves, so mean, and we can expect so much that it's impossible. And then you think about how you are to your friends, how nice you are to your friends, and if your friend was like, well, I didn't get this done, but I was able to do this, but I wasn't able to spend time with my kids, but I got something with my work done, but I just feel like such a bad mother, or I lost my patience with my kid today. And you wouldn't be like, ugh, how dare you, you're a terrible person, like, oh gosh. No, we're not like that, right? But why are we so mean to ourselves? It doesn't make any sense. And so giving yourself the kind of grace that you would give to somebody else, being the best friend, right? Everybody needs that best friend where you can be totally honest and be like, yeah, I totally failed at blah, 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 blah today. And they're like, hey, it's okay. It happens. Things like that are normal. You need that kind of love, that reassurance, that support. That's what we all need to give to ourselves. I don't know why, but we are so hard on ourselves. It doesn't make any sense, but it definitely needs to change. And so giving yourself the same grace that you give to other people that you love, giving them the benefit of the doubt, giving them encouragement and reassurance. That's all we need to give to ourselves, because we can't do it all. It's too much. It's so much. Nobody can do it all, right? And you could be a workaholic, or you could be a momaholic, or I don't even know if that's a thing, but we're going to pretend that it is. And it's so hard. Nobody's perfect. We are all trying to figure it out. Every day we are trying to figure it out. I don't have anything figured out. Once in a while, I figure out a few things and I'll like to share them. And I need to take my own advice as well. And some days I take my own advice beautifully and I'm like, sweet, this is rocking. Life is rocking. And other days I'm not taking my own advice and I need to listen to my own podcasts and my own videos, because gosh, it is hard. Life can be a drag, life can be a grind, but we are all in this and we are all doing the best that we can, and that's all that we can do, and we can do it with love and grace. So to recap, 5 ways to support your balance of career, family, life, all the things. 1, take turns. Be a mom, then be a wife, then be a business person. Not all at the same time. Number 2, take care of yourself. You know what to do. Exercise, you time, whatever it is. Number 3, ask for help. Don't be afraid to delegate, outsource things that are not as important or that it's not essential for you specifically to do them, just as long as they get done. And number 4, every day is a new day. Don't hold on to any past guilt of the day before, the week before. Just start each day brand new. And number 5, give yourself a little bit of grace, because we just are all in this together and doing the best that we can. All right, thanks so much. It was so great to spend this time with you. Hope it helps in some way. All right, see ya.